Bun găsit, prieteni! Suntem în cadrul unei ediții speciale la Defense România și pe DC News. Discutăm cu doi dintre cei mai importanți lideri ai Uniunii Internaționale Paneuropene, prezenți astăzi la București. Vom avea un interviu cu privire la cele mai importante teme de politică externă și nu numai într-un climat tensionat. Voi prezenta cei doi invitați alături de mine, Alain Terranoire, care este președintele Uniunii Internaționale Paneuropene, și domnul Pavo Barišić, care este secretarul general al Uniunii. Hello, sirs. Thank you so much for being here and for accepting our invitation. It's an honor to having you here.
Hello.
Sir, let's start our discussion maybe with Mr. President, with Mr. Alain Terranoire, and let's start with a short description of Pan-European Union for our large audience. Can you describe for Romanian audience your huge organization, your important international union?
Thanks to Alexandru Nazare, President of Pan-European Movement in Romania, I am back in Bucharest. I am back in Bucharest with our organization, with the General Secretary Pavo Barišić behind me, and to speak about the situation now in the world, in Europe, before the next election of the European Parliament, and to see how is the situation. The situation is not so easy for all of us in Europe. The complication of the war in Ukraine, the war from Russia against Ukraine, need us having more capacity to have solidarity between all the countries. And our organization is the oldest European, pro-European organization. And between the last World War, the position of Pan-European movement with the politicians in your country, with high personalities in your country, have worked a lot for building a new Europe, building a new unity in Europe. Now we are doing the same work 80 years after.
Yeah. Mr. Barišić, right now as we speak, it's a war only a few miles away from us. And do you think Europe and the European defense industry is struggling to keep up with Ukraine's needs? And should we fear about this concept of war fatigue in our societies?
Yes, you are right. The war is raging in the neighborhood and Europe, and I think it is something that our organization, the Pan-European Union, and the founder, Coudenhove Kalergi, he also said from the beginning that it is very important to build Europe as an independent organization where all the countries are together, solidary, and that's in this moment we have to prove just this idea on the occasion of the invasion to Ukraine, but I think it is not only the invasion to Ukraine, it is only the invasion or attack on Europe, as nowadays Europe is an world power, but peaceful. Because the European Union was established as on the idea of peace, and that's just the idea that the Pan-European movement from the beginning declared. And I would like to take this opportunity to say that we are very happy that we have again the Pan-European Union in Romania, but from the beginning, in the 20s of 100 years ago, in the 20s of the 20th century, in Romania there was a very strong movement, Pan-European movement, with Nicolae Titulescu as the president at that time of the General Assembly of the League of Nations, and many very prominent personalities were at that time in the European politics one of leaders among the leaders, and we think we need now to take this opportunity to build together the Europe and the Europeans' defense.
Mr. President, we are in Romania and I cannot ask you about Schengen situation because it's a sensitive subject here in Romania because it's a lot of frustration. Romania fulfills all the technical criteria for Schengen area, and I know your movement had made a lot for this objective of integration in Schengen area. So what should we do more, sir, in order to get full access in Schengen space?
So already we have support the position of our country in favor of Schengen since many years, because we found it was completely non-normal that your country will not be, since the beginning, member of the EU, since 2007, member of Schengen. So we knew the complication of that, so justice complication, immigration complication, but as a plenty member of the EU, we found that we should help you, your country, having influence on the European Parliament, where we are a working group inside, on the different state organization, government. So we have done our work as we sought for the justice for your country. And Schengen now is partially obtained. We will continue to do all we can do for a complete Schengen for your country. It's absolutely, you know, what is your? It's a free space for each European citizen. So it has to be the same in Romania.
A question for both of you. Maybe you want to add something about
Yes, because Croatia acceded to Schengen last year, and we are very happy, and just we came here together to support Romania, and we think that it was unjust that Romania wasn't accepted, and because Romania did very well, and all the obstacles, I think, they are not grounded. So therefore, we are here. Pan-Europeans, because it is the originally pan-European idea, Europe or united Europe without borders, that it was the program of the Pan-European Union 100 years ago. At that time, it was something, how to say, utopian, but nowadays we see that is very important, and we are therefore to support that Romania this month should be also the part of the Schengen area.
For many years, your country, Romania, has respected the rules, the obligation to be in Schengen. So now finally it's open, and I think it's a good thing.
You mentioned at the beginning of our discussion that will be an important, crucial election year in all over the Europe. So one of the biggest threats in Europe right now is extremism and populism. And unfortunately, the decision regarding Schengen has translated in more Euroscepticism in Romania. So how can we fight those currents? Because there are very dangerous phenomena all over the European Union, in Romania, in France, in Croatia, all over.
EU, Europe, means peace.
Of course.
Europe together, Union of the European, means no nationalism, because nationalism and populism is going to the war, always in the history. So if here in Romania you want, as we want in all the other countries, having a peaceful Europe, we have to stop with the stupid idea of the past, of the nationalism. And you see what is happening from Russia against Ukraine, that typically nationalism, populism, and it's coming at the war. So we have to understand, after we disagree of certain policy, we have to be all together to consolidate the peace in Europe. The peace is the contrary of nationalism and populism.
And Brexit was another example of populism in the European Union, and look what happens, and so on. But we will have elections not only in Europe, in the United States, even we will have elections in the Republic of Moldova, for example. And Moldova is so important for Romania. And I would like to ask you, do you think Russia will use all their hybrid warfare tools in order to influence the result of the elections in Romania, in all over the European Union, in Moldova? Do you feel that? Maybe this is a question for both of you.
Putin believes that we are weak. We have not enough strong. Putin is waiting the election in America. He's waiting the election, the re-election of Trump, because he knows that Trump is friendly with him. He knows that Trump will not help with NATO for Europe. So we have to be much more independent as Europeans. Mm-hmm. We have to build progressively a new defense organization, not against NATO, of course, inside NATO if possible, but it's urgent, very urgent, because the war is at our door, especially here in your country, in Romania. The war is here, so we have to make effort, big effort, to be able to defend ourselves, our own European interests.
Yes, we are really in the situation that war is here in Europe as well as, and your question about Moldavia, I fear the influence is already not only in Moldavia, in Bulgaria, in other countries, in Bosnia and Herzegovina and Croatia as well, we can also see it. And therefore, I think if we don't act together as European Union on this so peaceful program, it could be a problem for whole Europe. And therefore, I think it is now the task of the leaders of the European Union to have a really active politics. And I'm very happy that to Ukraine and Moldova was offered the possibility also to accede the European Union. And that's the right answer to this challenge.
I would like to end this interview with a message, please, for both of you. This is a golden year with 4 rounds of elections in Romania, as probably you know, and it's a crucial year for us. And this is not big words, it's really crucial. And I would like to ask you, what is your message for Romanian people, for Romanians, before this round of elections? Maybe you can start, Mr. President.
My message is thanks to the citizens of Romania to be a strong and efficient citizen defending the interests, the global interests of Europe. The war is very close to us. And now we have just to be all together in a solidarity for a peaceful Europe and in a progress. That's very important, that's urgent. And I know we have in Romania, in the other country, other problems, economic problems, social problems. But what is important now is to get the peace indoor.
Mr. Barišić.
My message would be, so I was deputy minister 20 years ago of science and education, and I visit first time Romania. And at that time, and as a minister of education and science, I also visited Bucharest, Timișoara, and many universities here. So what can I see? It is a really great progress that Romania did in the last 20 years. And Romania also is one good example what this European uniting process can do positive. And so I really appreciate it, and I would recommend that this line would be also for Romania, but for the whole Europe as an example how to succeed in European integration.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for the discussion.
Thank you for your interview.
Good luck, and thank you again.
Thank you.